I'm 80 years old, and the greatest loss of my life wasn't death. It was a man who's still alive somewhere, and a single moment when my pride mattered more than love. I'm sitting alone at my kitchen table as I record this. Same table I've owned since 1972. The varnish is worn thin where two elbows used to rest across from mine. At my age, silence gets loud. It gives you time to remember things you thought you'd buried. Tonight, I can't stop thinking about one person, my best friend, and the day I chose being right over being kind. The past. When I was young, I believed loyalty was automatic, that friendships, real ones, didn't need tending. I met him in 1963. His name was Frank. We were both 17, standing outside the hardware store on Maple Street, pretending we weren't scared of the future. He had grease under his fingernails and a laugh that made strangers turn around. We became inseparable without trying, fishing on Sunday mornings, fixing cars we barely understood, sitting on the hood of his Chevy at night, staring at stars and talking about who we'd become. I was the serious one. Frank was the brave one. When I got married to Sarah in 1968, Frank was my best man. He cried harder than I did. When our first son was born, Frank showed up at the hospital with a cigar and no plan for how to light it. He just kept saying, "You did it. You really did it." For years, we moved through life side by side. Different houses, different jobs, same laughter. I thought that was permanent. I thought pride was strength back then, standing your ground, never backing down. I was wrong, but I didn't know it yet. The turning point. It happened in 1985. I remember because my hair was already thinning and I still pretended it wasn't. Frank had started a small construction business. I had lent him money. Not much, just enough to help him through a rough winter. He was late paying it back, just a few weeks. But I let it grow in my chest like a sickness. One night he came over, sat at this very table, smelled like sawdust and cold air. He said, "I'll get it to you, I swear. Just need a little more time." I nodded, but inside, something ugly spoke up. I thought, if I let this slide, he'll think I'm weak. I thought, respect comes from firmness, so I said things I can still hear today. "I didn't know I was a charity," I told him. "You gave your word." The room went quiet. Frank didn't yell, didn't argue. He just stared at the table. Then he stood up. "I thought you knew me better than that," he said. I didn't stop him when he walked out. I told myself he'd cool off, that he'd come back and apologize. Days passed, weeks. The money arrived in an envelope, no note. That should have been my moment. The moment to call him, to laugh it off, to say I was wrong. But I didn't, because my pride was still sitting at this table with me, and I didn't want to look smaller in front of it. The consequences. Life doesn't punish you all at once. It takes its time. Years went by. Birthdays came and went without Frank's phone call. I heard things through other people. He moved, his business grew, then failed. Once in the late 90s, I saw him across a grocery store aisle. He looked older, so did I. Our eyes met. I opened my mouth, and nothing came out. He nodded politely, like I was a stranger. That nod followed me home. Sarah used to ask, "Why don't you call Frank?" I always said, "It's complicated," but it wasn't. It was pride, still sitting there, still refusing to stand up. Then Sarah got sick. Frank wasn't there when she passed in 2008. He should have been. I sat alone at the funeral, surrounded by people, feeling a hole no one else could see. After she was gone, the silence got worse. And one night, maybe 10 years ago, I finally said his name out loud in this empty house. It sounded like a confession. I searched for him online, found an old address, wrote a letter. I rewrote it 7 times. When I finally mailed it, it came back unopened. He had moved again. That was the moment it hit me. Not all losses come with funerals. Some just fade until it's too late to stop them. The wisdom. I'm 80 now. My hands shake when I pour coffee. My memories don't. I've learned something that took me a lifetime to understand. Being right feels good for a moment. Being alone lasts much longer. Pride doesn't protect you, it isolates you. I thought apologizing meant losing, but what I really lost was time. If Frank were sitting across from me right now, I wouldn't talk about money, or fairness, or who was right. I'd just say, I missed you. That's the truth I carry now, and it's heavy. So listen to me, please. If there's someone you haven't called because you're waiting for them to move first, don't wait. Time is quieter than you think, but it runs faster than you know. I can't fix my past, but you can still protect your future. If this story stayed with you, stay with this channel. There's still wisdom left to share, and not much time to share it.